You should be barricaded in your house and kept off of the street, or sterilized, lobotomized, left in a car in heat. Cause the things you say and do tell me your brain cells are with you, and that is why I hate you.
Da-na-na-na. What's up, everybody? I should probably pull my mic down, make it a little closer to my face so I'm actually easy to hear.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
There we go. That's better. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. And I got some shit to complain about this week.
I mean, it's been a while, so we missed you. We love you.
Oh, wait, me?
No, we're talking to the. I guess it wouldn't be long for them.
No, they don't care.
We had a bank episode.
No, I didn't. Well,
for
if I had put it up,
we're literally like car ride or like
that bank episode is in like
noise.
37 pieces, and I went to put it together, and I was like, "Oh fuck this! I don't have time to do this right now. It's too many pieces. I gotta put it up. You know what? I gotta like put it together when I have time, so that it's ready to go when we need it. Anyway, yeah, I went to a wedding this weekend, and boy, do I hate weddings. You know what? It ended up not being nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. I really don't like weddings because weddings are for two things: dancing and drinking. And I don't dance and I don't drink.
Yes.
So for me, weddings are essentially just nothing. There's nothing. I sit there while everybody else gets drunk and or dances, and I'm just bored as shit usually. But it was an interesting wedding because first off, we missed the service, which was great. Because going into a church is very dangerous for me. I'm always afraid I'm going to burn up when I walk in. But we got there like 10 minutes too late. So we're like, guess we'll go right to the venue, which is, literally across the street from the church, which, by the way, never heard of this before. We get there and my wife's telling me that it's a non-denominational church. And I was like, well, what do you mean non-denominational? She's like, well, it's just a church. It
has no denomination.
Yeah, there's no religious aspect to it. And I was like, well, what's the point then? I thought a church by definition was...
No. There's no religious cultural aspect. So, like, essentially, they could take pieces from every other church, like, not belief, but, this type of ceremony, or, like, if this church does Lent, the non-denominational church, one might do Lent, the other one might not. It's not a Pentecostal. It's not Southern Baptist. It's none of those things.
Well, she basically was like, it basically just exists to be pretty for people to take pictures at their wedding. Like, it's just a building.
It's unoffensive church. That's really what it is.
And I was kind of excited about that because once I found out, because I figured, oh, well, there's no mass or anything. Hopefully it'll be pretty. Anyway, but we missed the ceremony, so we went over to the venue, and the venue was not a traditional venue. It was essentially a restaurant. Tavern that they just kind of bought out for the day. I guess that's just the way this procedure. So it was.
You know what? No, I've been to one like that.
So. Well, so it wasn't like a regular wedding. It was just kind of like everybody was hanging out at dinner at a restaurant. Like,
and they just so happened to say some vows.
Yeah. So it was kind of like we were just sitting at a table at a restaurant, having dinner for 4 hours. And they did like. They didn't start dancing till late. The dance floor was like 10 by 10. It was super tiny.
Okay.
But it was an L-shaped building, so the dance floor was kind of around the bend from us. We couldn't see anything. We couldn't see what was going on, like when they did toasts and stuff. We couldn't see any of it. So it was literally like we weren't at a wedding. It was like we were just hanging out having dinner at a restaurant, and we sat.
That seems more like your speed.
Yeah, it was much more my speed. I was surprised at how easily I got through it. I say got through it like it was like I'm like on a fucking
perfect.
track.
That's perfect vocabulary for you.
I guess so.
Endure it to get through it.
Yeah,
it's perfect for you.
Well, and I told my wife I have this, like, when I have to go do something like that I'm really not excited about. I need a time. Like, okay, what time are we leaving? Yeah. So like, and if I have that time, it's not this endless thing that's just never going to end. It's okay. I just have to get till that time and then it's over.
It's sort of like school.
Yeah. So it makes it easier for me. So like we talked about it ahead of time. It's like, okay, we're going to leave at this time as long as they've done, X, Y, and Z, the cake and all that best man speech. It was great during the speeches. The best man speech was way too fucking long. And it's going to be long when it starts off with, The year is 1993.
No, not
Or
the
whatever.
documentary.
Yeah, it was literally what he did. And I met blah blah for the first time. And
I fucking hate those.
anyway, but our side.
I admit I hate those too.
Oh, it's bad. Our side of the restaurant really couldn't see. It was hard to hear because it was muffled because it's coming around a corner. So everybody was kind of talking, and this one bitch is just sitting in front of us, just keeps turning around and going, shh, like every 30 seconds. Just turns around, shh, like total Karen looking. And it was getting so bad. I kept giving her a nasty look because I'm just like, if you want to turn around and be like, hey guys, could you please be quiet? But no, she goes,
she did the movie theater shush.
Yeah, like she kept doing it, and it was just so embarrassing. I was looking at her like, you look like an idiot. And nobody was looking at her. Nobody's paying attention.
I didn't know. She's probably like an overweight older woman, not like maybe in her 60s. I'm probably completely wrong. This is just the character I'm seeing in my head.
You're not far off. I don't think she was that old. She's probably our age,
like early 60s. Oh, our age.
Yeah, she wasn't that.
Oh yeah,
she wasn't that.
I guess we are in that age. We're in that age bracket.
I mean, we're starting to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got a suggestion on Instagram of like the people you may know.
Oh, that's always fun.
It was somebody who's not mutuals with anybody I knew, so I don't know why it was suggesting this person to me.
Yeah, that's weird.
And I just clicked on it because they look like an old person. I was like, do I know any like really old people?
Oh boy. Is somebody that you went to high school with?
No, but it's someone I could have gone to high school with.
Oh man, that's rough.
Because the person was only 2 years older than me. Ooh. But she looked old.
I mean,
and I was just like, I hit that age where I'm starting to look myself in the mirror and go, wow.
Yeah, I'm there.
I am old looking.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting there too. I actually, well, that was one of the things I liked about the wedding was it was my wife's family, her mother's side of the family, and she's got a lot of cousins, a lot of aunts and uncles. And we were sitting with a couple of her cousins that were bridesmaids at our wedding. So it was nice because we haven't seen them in a while. So we were able to catch up a little bit. But I probably haven't seen them in... I'm sorry, I'm all mucusy. I probably haven't... Yeah, thanks. I probably haven't seen them in... I mean, the last time I saw some of them might have been one of her other cousins' weddings, which was maybe 5 years ago.
Okay.
So it was weird because there are people I haven't seen in 5 years. And she's got cousins now that like when I met them, they were like my son's age, like 4 or 5 years old. And now they're like 22, 23-year-old women. Like they're grown ass women. And it's so weird. And in fact,
it's so surreal.
But just her cousins that are close to our age just being like, oh yeah, like they look 5 years different. And then she's got a cousin that has 2 kids that I literally held as infants. And they're like 17 years old, 16, 17 years old now. They're like, again, they're just basically almost grown-ass women. I mean, the way 16-year-old girls are today, they basically look like grown-ass women. They're wearing makeup and nice dresses and stuff and trying to look older. Wait, this is getting off as creepy. I don't mean it as like an attack. I mean,
I know it. I think
a 16-year-old girl when we were 16 was like completely different than the way 16-year-old.
Well, because they were on your peer level. Your brain saw them as your peer, and then it's the same effect that like an older person will get when somebody's in their early 20s and say you're nothing but a kid. To them, you look like a fucking kid.
Well, we were sitting right across from the two of them too. Like they were sitting right across from me, and I almost said like, man, like I remember holding you as an infant, and now you're like, and then I was like, no, I'm not going to say that because that's what I would if I remember being that age of people saying stuff like I changed your diapers. Yeah, so it's like I'm not going to be that guy.
I think we talked about that in like one of our first episodes.
Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if it came back around.
There was a girl I dated for a really short period of time before I joined the Army, and I used to babysit her daughter, and her daughter was like crib aged.
Yeah,
she's in a fucking crib. I ran into them in a store, and her daughter. One, I'm not a tall guy, but taller than me, in high school. I'm just like,
it's crazy.
what the fuck is happening?
I mean, her one cousin's kid.
I have kids in my house, and I don't notice that they're growing large. But then I see these kids I haven't seen in years, and they're fucking huge.
It's crazy, right? It's crazy. I don't know. It makes me feel old. So I ended up passing most of the time there just by picking out characters. That's what I do a lot of times when I'm in crowds.
Okay.
So I found there was one woman there who was wearing like, I swear to God, she was wearing, it looked like a dress from like colonial times, like an Amish dress, or like if you went to Museum Village, down
from generation to generation.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, she's got to go turn the butter in the back. Yeah. And then there was
every young girl added a sewed patch to this dress, and when you get married, dearie, I'm going to give it to you.
I was just having fun with my wife at the table. I was like, she walked by and I was like, oh, she's got done churning the butter on the table. And then there was a dude that looked like he was a Bond, like a Bond or like a Steven Seagal henchman. Oh. Not a villain. I had to make this clear. And it turns out he was the father of the groom, which is, I guess, I don't know, very estranged from the rest of the family. I've never seen him before. And I had to make it clear to the rest of the table. I was like, no. Not a villain, and not even like an A-list henchman. Like, you know, in Die Hard, there's the blonde just dude like that was like
the guy with the long blonde hair. Always, like, it was that was the 90s guy.
It was like the guy that would just run up to Bruce Willis and like get kicked in the face and then shot, and then that was it. It was like one of those henchmen.
Yeah, he was that guy.
There's him. There was a dude who looked just like the lead singer in Nickelback. So every time he walked by, I started singing. "This Is How You Remind Me," or whatever the name of that song is.
Excuse me, sir. Could you look at this photograph?
He was getting ready to leave, and I was like, "This is how you remind me that it's time to go home." And then there was a woman who looked like Mayim Bialik to me. I didn't have glasses on, so she might have looked nothing like her, but she had like shoulder-length brown hair and glasses, and to me, she looked like her. And then my favorite was this guy with this crazy fucking epic long beard. Like, you know, he drinks craft beer, like that kind of guy.
Probably listens to ZZ Top.
No, not that. Like hipster long beard, like that kind of beard.
Long.
Like 20 something, early 30s long beard hipster guy.
Okay.
But that wasn't the part that I liked. The part I liked was he kept grooming his beard like this, like he was a cat. Like,
oh no! He is a hipster.
I'm trying to explain it. Like with the back of his palm.
Did he have a man bun too?
No, he didn't. I was waiting for it.
He should have.
He had one of those haircuts that made him just look like one of those old timey like 1800s guys with the long beard and like the like short kind of hair that you'd expect him to be wearing a bow tie and suspenders.
His beard.
Yeah, but I was waiting for him to like lick the back of his hand and do it. But he was like, he was like rubbing down his beard with the back of his hand the whole time.
I remember going to college and we had a hipster guy. You know, he was always the type of guy had horn-rimmed glasses, suspenders. He was bald. He used to wear a flat cap.
Oh, a flat cap. Oh,
and
yeah,
that does. Twist his mustache up all the time. He just could not help it.
That's the kind of guy I'm talking about.
Twist mustache.
Yeah, that's the kind of guy I'm talking about. Except this guy was just grooming his beard like a cat.
Like a cat.
I was watching him the whole time, hoping he would lick his back of his hand. So it was all right. It was fun. Funny. A couple of my wife's cousins are police officers down in the city. So I wanted to ask them about this thing that I encountered on. I think it was actually YouTube Shorts and not TikTok, but I really can't stand these algorithms because they really are 100% geared toward just pissing you off. So
yes,
I think it was last week. At one night I was having trouble sleeping. And I was just kind of doom scrolling through YouTube Shorts videos, and I found this whole genre of videos that are just what's the best way to put this? There was kind of twofold. They were either recording police officers and just being dicks. Like
sovereign citizens.
Sovereign citizens. There you go.
They're on our list. They are on our list to cover.
Oh.
We're going to cover sovereign citizens.
Oh, shit. Well, maybe we should we just do this episode?
I'm not ready. I am not ready.
Oh, you're not ready to unpack that? Ready. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then I'm going to put a pin in this. And bring it back later. I don't want to get off on a tangent on these people now if we're going to do an episode.
Unless you want to do a sampler, I don't. Think you could do a sampler.
I'll just say it was these that are just recording cops just to be dicks. Like, I'm not giving you my ID. I'm not doing this. I don't have to.
But I'm not driving. I'm not driving. I wasn't driving, sir. I'm traveling.
Yes.
That
shit
like shit.
That. It was
like they are. Oh my god!
It was that, and then it was and then they would go on to like into like a county building or a sheriff's office or some shit, and just stand there filming, and somebody come be like, what are you doing?
It's their right to stand next
here.
to the easement.
Yeah.
And record,
exactly,
and argue, and waste everybody's time, and play fucking a game of semantics. Yeah.
My god! I have a Fourth Amendment. All right, so we'll get to that later. But oh my god, maybe that should be the next episode because I'm really heated on these people now. And I asked, I ended up only really talking to one of her cousins about it, and I was like, does that happen to you? And he was like, oh yeah. He's like, I've been on TikTok and shit a few times. He's like, and I said, how do you not kill them? I was like,
and you know what the worst thing is the introduction to them, because there are people that are like know your rights people.
Oh sure,
but they bleed into know your rights people.
Oh look,
and you can't tell the difference until you start hearing all the crazy stupid shit.
Sure, no, is it a great idea to just, you got a dash cam or something, turn it on, record it while you're getting pulled over or something? Sure, absolutely. And I actually had a conversation with one of my inspections a little overdue on my car. And one of my neighbors, one of my neighbors is a local cop, and one is two they're married, are cops down the city. But I was talking to the one that's down the city, and I said, hey, my inspection's up. I was like, is that something like I really need to worry about? And then I started thinking on the way home, I was driving home when I stopped off and was talking to him. And I was thinking on the way home, like, hey, can they search my car for that? Like, I don't have anything in my car, obviously, but can they? And then I was like, I wouldn't want them to search my car if they didn't have the right to do so, despite the fact that I clearly have nothing like. So I was asking them about that stuff, and I said, hey, if I get pulled over and they want to search my car, and I'm not a dick, like just very candidly, like, hey, I know you're just trying to do your job, but I really strongly believe in my civil rights, and that you really aren't allowed to search my car unless there's a reason for you to do so, and I respectfully would like you to decline. He's like, no. He's like, don't ever consent. He's like, the moment you consent, it's over.
You give up all your rights.
Yeah, he's like, no, you don't ever want to do that. Just you always just say, no, respectfully, no, I don't. And he said, and if they pull you out, you got a cop that's dirty or a little off color and like tells you to get out of the car and start searching anyway. You say, make sure you say, so it's on his body cam, hey, I don't consent to the search. I do not consent to the search. Anyway.
That's those, and it's crazy because you don't know, and sometimes the cops don't know, which is the scariest part.
Yeah, so we'll get into that more, but yeah, you're right. There's a difference, but there's those sovereign citizens fucks. Oh, it's it was infuriating.
They make me so mad.
Yeah, when I was talking to her cousin, I was just like, I would just lose my shit. And he was like, yeah, he's like, it's really tough. And he said, you go home and sometimes you think about it your night because you feel like they won because there's nothing you can do. He's like, you can't. You kind of have to let them win. I was like, you have way more restraint than me. I would flip the fuck out. I couldn't deal with it.
Oh my god, we're probably gonna turn this into an episode about.
Yeah, we'll get it.
I gotta hold it in. I'm holding it in because.
We gotta hold back.
I have a video to show you. If that's gonna be our next episode, I'm gonna send you a very specific video to watch.
All right, let's do that for our next episode. Let's make that next episode because I think that's it's so fresh on my mind now because of course
fucking dickheads.
Well, the fucking algorithm just feeds me because it's like, oh, you watched one, so we're gonna send you 3 more, and then I think it probably started as just the people filming the police like on the street or something, and then they're like, oh, you're watching those, let's give you the ones standing in the county buildings and fuel your hate even more.
It's weird because like it takes a lot to have people like, or at least somebody like me and maybe you, to go to the side of the authority and go, yeah,
it does. Absolutely.
Like, I side with the dictators.
Yeah, in that particular case, there's there's a difference between
like undermining your fucking point.
Yeah, I mean, you can. There's a having a point and making your point, and then there's just being a dick. There's a difference. Anyway, Yeah, and then of course after my algorithm got all fucked up because after that they started showing me red pill guy videos again and other shit.
Oh, I
that
had
was
to
on
cut
those
that
lines.
shit out so bad. I followed one person.
Well, I
because
had
I
to.
thought their video was really funny,
Yeah.
and it just a shitload of red pill bullshit.
I had to go through a couple nights ago and just dislike a bunch of shit just to try to get it cleaned up because they actually I started getting Jesus videos in there too. Because I guess they assumed if I like this stuff, I must like Jesus. So I had to dislike like 30 videos in a row to try to clean the goddamn algorithm up. Yeah, sucks. Did you see this article a couple days ago about a Mississippi transgender high school graduate being denied the right to wear a dress and heels at graduation?
Well, the fact you said Mississippi, I didn't even know that was a fucking choice that they would allow.
Yeah. Well, it went all the way to a federal judge.
Haven't.
It went all the way up to a fucking federal judge. So this
it's not
student,
absurd. It's Mississippi.
It's Mississippi. No, it's not. I mean, it's not absurd for where it took place.
Yes,
but
it's absurd in general.
But this student has been transgender the entire time she was in high school, freshman on. Always been, it's not like it's a new thing. Very clearly transgender. This whole time.
Not hiding it, nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they go, you can't wear a dress and heels to graduation. And it ends up making its way to a fucking federal judge to say, like,
embarrassing.
No, you're not allowed to do it. But
that's embarrassing.
So who fucking cares? Like, why are we wasting money and tax dollars and time on something like this? That's because
a lot of the people who make the rules are highly religious people highly rich religious people who have no critical thinking skills whatsoever.
Oh,
zero.
Absolutely. Clearly.
So they have to, due to the doctrine of their religion, they have to dictate to everyone else how they should live their life because they're obviously living their life wrong by the rules of this deity they've never met.
Yeah, I guess it all comes back to that, doesn't it? It's so fucking stupid.
And if they aren't religious, which I highly doubt, but if they aren't religious, it's because it makes them feel weird.
Yeah,
they can go to Cambodia and fuck little boys in wigs, but ultimately, when they come back, they have to be. But you see what I'm fucking saying, and it's not wrong.
I do see what you're saying. It's just
fucking.
First off, it's graduation. There's probably several hundred people, right?
Yep.
Going to be one in hundreds. You're not going to notice until she walks up on stage. Two, aren't they going to wear robes anyway? You're not going to
notice at all.
They're wearing robes.
Unless I don't even know, depending on how much vocal work that she does, if you'll be able to tell vocally, because they're not gonna. She's not gonna go up and speak. She's gonna go up, grab her rolled up piece of paper.
Yeah,
and that's it.
That's a good point. To any regular bystander, you wouldn't know the difference. You just assume it was another woman walking up on stage, and that's
because nobody pays attention to anyone else's kids.
They
only pay attention to their kids.
Woman, whatever the line.
Yeah,
the correct.
They don't give a shit. I don't care. It's too many titles and ideas. We get the point.
Yeah, we get the point.
It's nobody pays attention to other people's kids, and if they do,
good point.
They usually are bad people.
Yes, yeah.
Like I realize, like, with my kids going to like martial arts meets and stuff like that, I'm on my phone until they say my daughter's name. And then I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
And like,
you're
woo,
right.
yeah. And unless it's a child I recognize, like I know them, like let's say if it was your daughter and my daughter were in the same thing, I would pay attention to your daughter because I know her.
Right. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
I don't give a shit about anyone else's kid.
You're right. I mean, even thinking back to like
nobody would have given a shit.
Kindergarten graduations and stuff. I cared when my daughter went up, and I cared when the neighbors' kids went up, and that was it.
Yeah, no one else cares. And mind you, the amount of care that you care about outside of your kid is like, oh, I know that.
Yes, yeah, it's like
that's as far as it fucking goes.
Yeah, I like that you broke it down so quickly and so easily, though. That it's either people who feel weird or people who are like, my God said that you're not allowed to do that, so I have to now tell you you're not allowed to do that and spend lots of money and time making sure you don't.
Making sure that you can't do that.
For reasons.
That's why abortion, it's like, why would that bother anyone? One, it pays the pharmaceutical and whatever fucking megacorp that runs like medicine.
Mm-hmm.
If it was allowed, but due to religious psychopaths and people who want to control other people's bodies for some fucking reason, and moralists, that it's a bad thing. Mind you, abortion, in my opinion, is bad or good depending on the situation.
Sure. No, I agree. 100% agree.
It's all context-based. It is not all bad, and it's not all good. The only all good in that is that women should have the right to choose to do that.
Yeah, whether it's good or bad, in my opinion, they should have the right to make that choice. It's not my choice. It's not my call.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No,
and mind you,
I am 100% in agreement with you on that.
I also believe that men should have a say, but that's that's my argument with someone else about that. Because like, it's not just one person's kid, and it's not like one person's going to be responsible if they're both responsible people who just so happen to have a kid that they can't have. But that's a whole different can of worms. Right now, the fact that it's gone and it's really about controlling women is a problem.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem. No, I agree with you to the effect of, I feel like a man should have some right to be in the conversation, but not ultimately make the decision.
But not be the ultimate. Yeah, you're not the ultimate judge.
Right. Yeah, I think I would like to be heard if it involves me, but it's not ultimately my choice. I guess that's the way. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the best way to put it. That's a perfect way to put it.
No, that is the perfect way to put it. It's not ultimately my choice, because it isn't. You both decided to fuck. Yeah, that was the decision, equal on both ends.
Yeah, no, agreed.
And then afterwards, the responsibility thing is a whole clusterfuck that's more than one brain needs to figure out.
Yeah. Oh, there's no way. I always crack up at people that think that they can solve these problems or figure these things out by themselves too, as if that's there's a reason.
I have my beliefs. I don't have the fucking answer.
No, of course not. It takes multiple viewpoints to be able to have a conversation about anything, because I can say what I think, but it's going to take someone else to tell me where I'm wrong and make me think about things that I'm not thinking about. That was a stupid sentence, but
fight and debate, but they don't fight or debate to reach a consensus. They fight or debate to have their point, like to get their point across.
Well, they fight or debate to be right.
It was like consensus. That is what the point of these, especially political debates. They should never be an argument. It should be literally a consensus.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this sounds good, but this part of this doesn't work. Anything in politics has to be a compromise. Everything.
That's
every single conversation in politics.
You know, the few friends I have where I can have conversations like that, and that's what they are about, are my favorite people to talk to, because it's not about winning the debate or winning the argument. It's about a melding of our ideas. And pointing out where the other may not be thinking critically enough, or something along those lines. And
it's funny, and I wish I heard this woman before we had our episode about the red pill guys.
Oh, there's always fallback. Let's fall back to the red pill guys.
There's this fucking woman. I just watched a documentary on her called Just Pearly Things. She's a right-wing grifter.
Okay.
She's like this redhead who's dumb as a box of fucking dicks. And she's pretty much says all these like red pill things just to say them.
And she's just like, and it's a woman.
Yeah. And she's just like, I don't think women should have the right to vote. But then 2 seconds later, she'll be like, I think I should run for president. No, I should run for office or something. And she's a piece of shit. Oh, go on what you're gonna say before I continue my rant.
In my algorithm fuck ups, there was one video that came up that was this guy going, there's a reason women didn't have the right to vote. Women didn't have to go to war. All right. So men had to go to war. So men were the ones that had the right to vote because they were the ones that were being sent to war. That's why women couldn't vote.
Well, okay. First of all, shut the fuck up. But third of all,
shut the fuck up, women, dude who's never been drafted because the draft didn't exist when you were born. You fucking asshole.
All right. So in the 1800s, women died during childbirth more than anything.
Yeah. Yep.
And they all were getting fucked at 12 years old. So they would only have 12 years in life. I'm sorry, they weren't old enough to be able to vote. And I know by our rule standards, but I'm just saying, like, they didn't live long enough, but they were getting fucked and then killed, and they were owned by grown-ass 30-year-old men. So let's calm the fuck down. Later on in World War I and World War II, those same women were getting their hands mangled in factories while we were at war. So shut the fuck
It was another one of those situations where the dude's talking to some woman he pulled in off the street that wasn't prepared to have the conversation, and he was just trying to make look stupid. Like, well, do you know why women couldn't vote? Do you want to know why? Well, this is why. And I wish I was there because I wouldn't have argued with him. I would have just gotten up and just slapped him in the face.
Right in the face. So just shut up. Just shut up.
Just shut up.
Just shut up.
Take your headphones off and go home and masturbate by yourself into a sink.
You should be embarrassed your mom actually gave birth to you. You should be embarrassed.
No, go home and masturbate in the jar you collect your semen in.
Like, it is so scary that you were the fastest sperm. It is terrifying. But anyway, so
all those millions of sperm, and you're
the one that
winner.
made it.
That must have been a rigged race.
Somebody.
Yeah, that was a rigged race.
Who gave you the head start? So she says, so I'm listening to her, and then she says, you know why they attack me? Because they can't attack my arguments. And I like instantly, I was just like, bitch, arguments cannot listen to reason. The person who's making the argument can, and you don't listen to the argument. That's the fucking reason why people are attacking you.
So you watched the whole documentary on this woman?
It was like a 20-minute documentary.
I'll have to check it out. You're gonna have to send me the name again when we're done. Now I gotta watch it.
Now I have two videos to send you.
Okay.
About one about sovereign citizens, the other one about red pill.
Because
again, this all stems from my love of lolcows. And that's a darker part of me that I'm okay with. I am fascinated by crazy people.
All right, I'm sending you the first video I want you to watch when I want you to watch it. You got to watch this one with the volume up.
Yep, I'm turning my volume on.
Since we're talking about videos that we have to send each other.
Turning off my autoplay.
It's good shit, man. Oh,
wow.
What?
So, just this is a personal thing, but it's not. I don't really care. My daughter's having trouble in school. She's been getting herself into trouble. So anytime my wife or the school calls or texts me, I have a miniature panic attack.
I get it.
And so I get a text from my wife because I was waiting for your text. I go, oh no, we're gonna have to stop the podcast. I'm gonna have to go pick my daughter up from school. And I look, and it's just like, oh, FYI, my son did something wrong.
Oh,
and as much as that sounds messed up, I went, oh, and she said, oh, but our daughter's having a good day. And I went, oh, thank God. Thank God he got in trouble because he puts too much pressure on himself.
well, hold on here. When she's having a bad day, they have you come pick her up?
Is not a normal bad day. My daughter has blind tantrums.
Okay. All right. So
she gets like extra help in school because she has emotional distress.
All right. So it's out of the norm.
Yeah, it's like so I'll have to stop working and and drive. If I'm if I'm an hour away, I have to stop what I am doing and come back. I'm surprised my job has not fired me yet.
You should I mean if you ever feel like it, you should talk to my wife about it because I mean she deals with this on a regular basis too. She's in an inclusion class, so she's got students that similarly have issues. And
I know my wife
from
definitely need.
From the teacher's point of view, if there's anything you're wondering, because it's something she deals with on a regular basis. I mean, I get texts from her all the time, like, "Well, I got bit today," or "I got choked out today." Like she deals with that stuff on a regular basis.
Yeah, well, it's really scary because my wife is a little bit more on the pulse of certain school situations than I am, because this school is actually the school that our kids go to are known to be favoritists in the whole racial space, unfortunately, and since. Yeah, and I don't want to be the guy to bring it up,
right? And
I have to try to regulate my wife so she doesn't bring it up.
Well, why don't you want to bring it up?
Because I can't tell if I don't want to
create new
throw
issues.
That card. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to throw that card out and it not be the case,
right?
And have pressure put on my child.
Sure.
So I have to be hyper vigilant and be able to see the difference between the two things.
Well, the fact that you're cognizant of that and you're self-aware is good. But
I think it's mainly because of my anxiety. Why I'm like I'm just so scared that I don't want to cause that problem.
But I mean, you're right. I mean, you're not wrong.
Like nothing upsets me more than like my wife actually dealt with this specifically. I know this is nothing to what we were talking about, but my wife used to be a waitress in Friendly's, which is no longer around.
I loved Friendly's. You know, which one? The one.
It was the one
local?
in Goshen.
Oh, Goshen. The one in Middletown we used to go to when I was in high school, and they had
same here.
They had these brass balls at the ends of each of the the booths, and we'd always take them because they unscrewed. We'd unscrew them and take them.
I believe you.
Fucking assholes.
So, but my wife was a waitress there, and there was this black family that came in, and barely paid, and then called racism to get a free meal on my wife.
Right.
Called racism on my wife. And she the manager called bullshit. Which was the first time I ever heard of a manager not de-escalating by giving them what they want.
Well, this was
and
how
the
long
manager
ago?
Came up. This was I was just out of the army, so it was about 7 or 8 years ago.
Okay, so it wasn't that long ago. PC culture was still pretty prevalent, right?
And the woman was throwing a fit, and the person, and I might be remembering this incorrectly, but I think this is correct how it happened. The manager, not my wife, goes, "You do know her husband's a black man, right?"
That's good.
And
that's a good card to play.
People like that, people who undermine any good thing, I have a seething disdain for.
Yeah, I get it. So you don't want to accidentally slide in there.
Yeah, because they
it.
promote they create and promote those black people that are apparently, and I'm not saying that they are bad people for being like this, but the type of right-wing black person that goes, well, I'm not a victim. And you shouldn't be a victim. And black people, the problem with the black community is black people act like victims.
And they need to stop resisting arrest,
Yeah, I don't like promoting those people because they're full of shit.
Sure.
But people who take advantage, like that family, or I don't know who specifically in the family, because I doubt the kids had anything to do with it. But they promote that person by acting like that, and that goes for anything. That's the trans people who act as obnoxious as fucking possible about pronouns and everything, so they make enemies of everyone else who would be okay with them.
I mean,
because being trans should be normal and not special.
I've had this argument a million times with people over things where if you take it to such an extreme where you're starting to be ridiculous, you devalue and invalidate the argument of the people who are in the right. You just you fuck it up. It's just the way it goes.
You just took their flags, you usurped the flag and just made a mockery of it.
Yeah,
and I don't like people like that.
And what you end up doing is giving the other side of the argument a point,
justification to exist.
Justification and an example to point to and be like, see, this is what they're all about. This one ridiculous bullshit example, and it helps them skew the opinion. It's just it's so terrible. But I mean, that's anything. There's absolutely anything.
That's anything, absolutely anything.
But it sucks because that's what it does. It gives a validation to the other side of any argument. All right.
So anyway, I'm going to go back to watching your video because
make sure you put the volume up because I want this. I want people. I want it to be heard.
The volume's all the way up. So if it's too loud, let me know.
No, that's can't be too loud.
Life's good. Don't let toots make it bad. Introducing Flatulous.
Oh my God, those hands!
Special for no fun.
Oh!
Flatulous works inside your body guts, makes gas small, and gives good for life.
Oh God!
3 in 4 people have no wind.
That's the same guy.
Starting flatulous, but careful. Flatulous is not for everyone. Some bad things include medicine, floppy wiener, water poop, and in bad cases, no more alive.
No more
If
alive.
side effects come, stop taking. See medicine magician fast. Flatulous. Clear the air, not the room.
So that's an AI generated commercial. The script was AI generated, the voiceover, the images, everything was AI generated, and it's the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
I'm liking and saving this.
Every time I watch it, I find something new.
For me, okay, so I've mentioned this before that I fucking love body horror. That is my favorite
Right.
type of horror movie stuff.
Yep.
Nothing does body horror better than AI for me.
Yeah,
Like it's almost Cronenbergian.
Oh,
how
I've
well
seen-
AI does body horror.
I've seen on Reddit some body horror artists that use AI and have come up with some incredibly creepy and fucked up shit. That video is so good. Every time.
And in bad,
I'm sorry, I gotta.
flatulence. Clear the air.
The semi-fused faces
Yeah.
at the end, like they're talking and kissing simultaneously with the
Every
nose and the
time.
chin fused. Then they move away, and what you don't notice is there's a little face behind them.
Every time you watch it, you find something new. And the script
I'm
is
gonna
so
watch
good.
this like 12 more times tonight.
Don't let toots make it bad. It's not-
You know what? The visuals superseded the silly sounds.
Yeah, that's so
'cause
good though.
It's so stupid. Like that's so good. That is so.
I'll post
good.
it. I'll post it on Facebook and Twitter and all the other shit so people can see it. It's the funniest video. It's so good.
I know you don't know a bunch of like internet culture stuff in regards to YouTube.
Not as much as you, no.
Yeah, so I doubt that you are familiar with iDubbbz.
No, I am not.
Well, there's this content creator, iDubbbz. He was an edgy comedian, nerdy. I never really liked him, but he was appealing. People were like, I heard in the grapevine, like people were like, iDubbbz is the fucking best and shit like that.
Okay.
And so it wasn't just that. They were like saying like he's savage. And that was because he took down a bunch of dickhead YouTubers by like analyzing them and doing these things called content cops.
Okay.
And then he did this rant that was like pretty much like the edgy boy Bible at that point, saying it's either all okay or it's not, or none of it's okay. So he was, and I'm gonna say the hard R. He was like, you can say you should be able to say nigger, or you should never be able to say it. And he would point out the hypocrisy of doing so.
Okay. I sent you another video to watch in a little bit.
Okay, so I understood the video. I was just like, well, I get what you're saying, bro, but and I know that usually like, every word has history, and in a way you are correct. So I don't begrudging you saying it, but it's purely based on your intent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I don't know if he mentioned that in the video, but I feel like it's based on your intent if I'm okay with you saying it or not.
Sure.
But it's also, I allow the right for the individual basis of people to be okay with it or not okay with it. But just don't tell me not to say it. Just say it makes you uncomfortable, and I will consider how you feel.
Sure. Absolutely.
So,
that makes sense.
And like he like went to this public square and this public event, to this other rich white fucking person who loved to say the N-word, and he said it in front of her. Like he got a picture up with her and was like, say nigger, and he like smiled, and she was like super uncomfortable, and people felt bad for her. I'm like, fuck her, she's a fucking rich white girl who got off the back of black culture, like being cool and shit and edgy.
Yeah.
And then when she's confronted with another asshole doing the same thing, all of a sudden, now she never knew there was racial connotations to it, and she's super fucked.
Wait,
she's
what?
Like, yeah, she's just that Californication stupid fucking mindset.
Oh, you have to send me this too now. Another video.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I will. But well, I don't know if I can send you. Maybe it's been archived. Well, iDubbbz, after marrying some goblin who he did. His wife is a goblin. His wife is a goblin. And it all started because people were making fun of him because he was defending the fact that she was on OnlyFans. But it wasn't even that he was defending her. It was the fact that he was defending her badly and being a hypocrite about it, because that was the type of person he would go after and make fun of.
Mm-hmm.
If he just dealt, if simply he just said, "Oh, okay, yeah, she's on OnlyFans. I don't give a shit."
Yeah.
But he never made a video.
She can do what she
that
wants.
would have been perfectly fine.
She's a grown
but
woman.
He didn't. And I'll tell you right now, if anybody had ever picked up on this podcast and heard me say any of this, I'm sure I would get attacked for even having his opinion of him. Because I always felt like he was a coward that just kowtowed to whatever was popular at the time. Because now he's doing like, well, I said some really hurtful things that backed a lot of like bad beliefs, and hurt a lot of people. Like, shut the fuck up. You did a YouTube video just saying some edgy shit. Guess what? A bunch of you fucking assholes did it. A whole fucking bunch of you.
Hours of that are no uploaded different. Every fucking hour.
Yeah. You are no fucking different. So shut the fuck up and go away. Because now you're having this internet argument, and it goes back to people are saying you either haven't changed, or he's saying I changed now. I'm a changed man. Well, no, you're not. You're still a coward. You're just backed around this a different group. That's the only difference with you, is that you switched. You're the same fucking coin. You just flipped it over. That's not a different coin. It's still the 25-cent piece that we've been seeing the whole time. It's just now I noticed it was in some gum. Like, there's no real fucking difference about you. You just tend to think that you're different. Because you know what? If you were different, you wouldn't have to prove it so fucking hard. And you wouldn't try to lean back on the past version of yourself so fucking hard.
Also, people don't do a 180 that quickly and that easily.
Well, years passed. Years did pass.
Oh, okay. All right.
Years passed between that time. You're just getting a quick thing.
But it's not a binary switch either, right? Like,
but no, it isn't. He had no real significant event that happened except for being, like, going from being praised for being an edgy boy to being made fun of for being a soft bitch and having a terrible wife. And yes, he has a terrible wife. The girl is a hypocrite. She's mean, and yet she pretends she's not. She criticizes him and, like, degrades him on podcasts and shit.
That's always nice. It's always nice.
I don't give a shit about. Yeah, I don't give a shit about her having, and she has to stick her fingers in everything. Like, because it's a partnership. I'm sorry, but in my marriage, my wife and I had to have a real conversation. I had to learn not to just do what she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had to say, you know what? Because I'm just going to be bitter if I just do everything. But she also had to understand that I'm not okay with everything. And if I don't agree with her, it doesn't mean I don't support her.
Sure. Oh yeah, that's a big one in relationships.
A lot of people, and we still struggle with that, because I think every couple does.
Yeah,
like she's like, well, you fight with everything I say. It was like, well, if you said something that I don't agree with, but you want me to open up and talk to you, you need to choose which one you want.
Yeah.
Because I'll just agree with everything you fucking say, and just to give myself some peace, and you'll never get any kind of real conversation out of me.
Right.
Or I'm going to tell you, I don't think it's like this, but I'm willing to try it because it'll give you peace of mind if we try to figure this out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because if I don't have a better answer, but I don't agree, I'm going to say, I really don't know, but I just don't feel like it's this.
But we'll see.
Whatever the situation is. But it doesn't sound like that with this guy. She's just literally in everything. If they have a podcast, she's talking the whole fucking time, but people don't give a shit what the fuck she has to say. They want to talk to him.
Well, yeah.
He's the popular one. Nobody gives a fuck about her.
It'd be like if you went to see, like, fucking, I don't know. You went to see, I'm trying to think of a popular music artist.
Well, people call her Yoko Ono.
You go to see Taylor Swift in concert, and, like, her guitar tech comes out and plays. It's like,
yeah, just like, yeah, so, Taylor really likes it when we talk about, like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I'm in rare form today. But yeah, I'm going to open up the next video too.
Oh, that's just a little. That's just a clip. That's just a little. I bought some new pants, and I was told I have to send them back.
Well, the clip's not playing.
Oh, the picture's enough.
The picture is enough.
Yeah, if you see the picture.
One, if that door opened, if I was laying in bed and that door opened and you were just standing there like that, I'd scream.
I bought some genie pants. Some I forget what they're called. Boho pants, like Aladdin.
I don't give a shit, but I want them.
They're awesome. They're so good. Except
I think we talked about it. I was just like, probably. I want those pants.
Well, I bought a pair. The problem is they're kind of a cheap pair. Like, I don't like the fabric. They're kind of cheap, but I put them on.
Oh. Oh, okay. Yep. I want all of that crotch room. Like,
well, I gotta tell you, it's pretty nice. It's kind of nice. But I put them on and I walked out, and my wife just went, no, put them back. Send them back. No. She's like,
she was going to say no to anything that you wanted.
no, I think she saw them and just was like, if you ever go out in public in those pants, I am never going to sleep with you again.
You know what's really funny? I want them, and I still struggle to think I would go outside in them, but I realized I went outside in Crocs for a long time.
Yeah.
So at this point in my life, I should not give a shit. I'm not gonna say I don't. I shouldn't give a shit.
The only my only concern would be wearing them out and having somebody being like accusing me of appropriating them. That's it. That's the only.
That's a legit fear for you to have.
That's the only embarrassment I would get. I don't care about the appearance at all.
You should look really embarrassed, and then in a very like meek, whispery voice, just go, "But I'm a really big MC Hammer fan."
Well, that's why I got them. I had parachute pants when I was a kid, when I was in middle school, high school. I fucking loved them, and I was looking for parachute pants, and they don't really sell that style of pants anymore that I could find.
Yeah,
and they have the boho. I think they're called boho pants that are like the Aladdin style pants. I think
that's what they're called.
That are I don't know if they're Indian or Arabic or both.
I know they've gotten really popular in Korea, because I see a lot of the pants.
I have to tell you, they're fucking comfortable. They're really comfortable. They're just, the material's really thin and kind of crappy, so I gotta find.
Yeah.
If I buy another pair,
good material.
Yeah, I gotta find a decent pair. If I probably shouldn't buy another pair because I'm pretty sure.
They're boho pants.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Or casual harem pants. I would not want to call them harem pants.
Harem pants.
I would never
harem pants. That's not a good term to use with your wife.
Not at all.
Honey, do you like my new harem pants?
You're a what, sir?
Okay, so maybe I won't buy more of those. Oh, really?
Oh, they have the Darth Maul style of them.
Oh, that's cool too. Where do you see those? Amazon or something?
Yeah, I looked it up on Amazon.
Those are awesome looking. Those look like culottes almost, which I also want to get. I want to get culottes. Have you ever seen culottes?
No.
Culottes are like really fucking big shorts that almost look like a dress when you've got them on. They're so big.
Oh, you know what? I have seen them.
I went to see David Sedaris years ago in Poughkeepsie. Do you know David Sedaris?
Nope.
He's an author.
Disagreeing with you.
He's an essayist.
Okay.
Really interesting points of view. He grew up gay in the 80s, so he's got lots of good stories about that and what it was like.
Oh, okay. I was really confused because I was about to say, like, is he not gay now? But no, I get what you're saying. Okay.
Yes, he's now. But he's an essayist, so he writes short essays.
He's talking about growing up as an openly gay.
Yes, what it was like to grow up in the 80s during the AIDS epidemic and being openly gay when it wasn't,
it wasn't the norm
at all. One of my favorite authors. He's a fantastic writer. Outside of that, I mean, he's just a great writer. Anyway, we went and saw him. This was years ago, and he had on culottes, and he took questions from the audience, which he always does. I've seen him a few times, and he called on me, and I said, "Are you freeballing in those culottes?" And he got,
of course you did.
Everybody in the room laughed their ass off, and he got really mad at me, and I felt terrible. I wasn't trying to be a smartass. I genuinely wanted to know.
You can't help yourself.
No,
you
but
really cannot help yourself.
I really wasn't trying to be a smartass.
I know.
Genuinely wanted to know.
You're not. But if you could only see the look on your face when you were retelling that, I understand every reason why he'd be pissed off at you. But I don't give a shit if you were sincere or not.
Well, they're these big baggy pants, so I was like, well, I mean, if you're wearing something with that much breathing,
why restrain yourself?
Yeah, wouldn't you just not wear underwear if you're gonna have all that space and room? Like, what's the point if you got these tight underwear on? And so I was genuinely asking. He was mad. I forget exactly what it was. It was just like, what? But no, what do you? Who's next? Like something like that. Like,
and I can understand why somebody would take that in the wrong way.
Oh, no, agreed. He probably thought I was just being an asshole. That's probably what he thought. And I genuinely
hope he hears this podcast in passing.
He won't.
And realizes.
He won't. I think
emails you.
I think I comment. I didn't PM him because he would never see it. But on one of his Facebook posts or tweets or something, I think I wrote once and was like, I just wanted to let you know that I saw you back at the Poughkeepsie. He didn't answer me, of course. But I've met him. I've had him sign a couple books too. I don't remember if it was before or after. It must have been before because I would have. I'm an idiot. I would have brought it up. I would have been like, "Oh, by the way, do you remember Poughkeepsie 10 years ago, whatever?" But anyway, I felt so bad afterwards because he's one of my favorite authors.
Oh man, that's
really quick before we move on to our topic. I just have a quick update. The athletics guy that said the N-word on air. He was fired, but apparently, and I have the clip here. I found the clip. He did the same thing in 2020. Like on, I don't know if it was on a podcast or on a live. He said the exact same thing. He called it the N-word league. Exact same fucking thing.
Yeah, so that's definitely an in like. Well,
Yeah.
I think that actually goes more to what I said before. There's something he normally says.
Yeah, it's just, it was not a slip of the tongue. It was not an accident. He said it before. So fuck that guy. He lost his job. Good for him. 20 years he had that job, and it all comes crashing down because he's a fucking idiot. And I saw some people after that came out still defending him, like, you know, cancel culture. It's like, it's not cancel.
It's not cancel culture. See, look, there's a spectrum between like
racist.
Consequence and cancel culture. There's a spectrum to this.
Yeah,
one teeters towards the other.
His whole job, he loses his whole job over one incident. It's like, yeah, if your incident is being a racist.
Well, okay.
It's
so
like if I go out and kill somebody, you know, and they're like, well, we're going to put him in jail over one incident.
If he worked as a mechanic, no, fuck that. Because you still have to work on some. Like, if he works as a mechanic that never meets with the customer,
sure, yeah,
he can be a racist piece of shit.
Yeah,
because he'll never know if he's servicing for other races.
Yeah, won't matter.
He's an announcer where he's dealing with people. Being racist is antithetical or antithetical
to his job.
Working with people.
It is what it is. It just cracks me up.
Yeah, like, yes, you can lose your entire fucking
this?
job for shit like that.
Like, we're gonna ruin this guy's life over this. Yeah, well, I mean, he did it again. He did it before back in 2020. Here's a clip. We're gonna ruin this guy's life over 2 times.
Dude, the fucking woman from she was like a cooking personality who made like the delicious gooey butter cake.
Dean, what's her name?
Whatever.
Patricia Dean, Sarah Dean.
I don't know. It was something very Southern Belly. And
it's Dean. Her last name is Dean. D-E-N.
And what was it? She said a racial term and then backed it up with, well, that's just what we said at the time. Because I really think she was just quoting something that was said at the time.
It's possible.
I don't know all the context of it or remember because I only knew at the time.
I think she also had the plantation themed wedding with like fake slaves.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that is like, I feel so bad, but she never hit it. There's a difference. She never fucking hit that. It was always her fucking thing.
Yeah, she wasn't a casual racist.
Clara Dean, something. I don't know.
Patricia Dean. I feel like
it was just something very Southern.
Patricia Dean. I'm looking.
Luann Dean.
Paula Dean. Paula Dean under fire after admitting to racial slurs.
My mother fucking loved her. My mother fucking loved her.
Why would it?
And guess what? They're both Southern old women.
This is great.
And you know what the funny thing is? I see her and Paula Deen being best friends. Because in the South, being two racist people, no matter what your race is, you could be best friends.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. That's exactly what she said. She was born 60 years ago when America's had schools that were segregated, different bathrooms, different restaurants, and Americans rode in different parts of the bus. This is not today. It's basically like, have you ever used the N-word? Yes, of course.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would give her a pass because she's not.
She testified she probably used the racial slur when talking to her husband when a black man burst into the bank that I was working at and put a gun to my head. I didn't feel real favorable towards him, she said.
Like, she weaponized her racism and let it out in a way that was actually made sense in context.
Well, if he didn't want me to call him that word, he should have put a gun to my head.
I'm not saying they're all in... When I was in basic training, I had a really racist guy, like with a big old lip of fucking chew, go, yeah. You know what? You're not like the others. Said that shit to my face.
That's nice. Oh, he was trying to pay you a compliment.
And meant it as a compliment. He meant that shit as a compliment.
I love the complexity that is the human mind and the human being. It's fucking funny. All right, I guess we should probably with that. I guess we should probably get into our topic. Oh, I forgot. I got to fix it because we had to refresh the page, so I got to go and fix
unfortunately.
it. Fucking thing.
It's time to begin the complaining.
Ooh, today we're gonna talk about speakerphonistas or
Speakerphonista.
those fucking assholes that think that they should talk on speakerphone no matter where they are, because I don't know why. But it actually, I ran into this just last week. My son has been very clinging to my wife lately. Okay. And telling her, like, can you get home early? So last week on Thursday, he was particularly clingy in the morning and really didn't want her to leave for work and was kind of throwing, not a fit, but he was like crying and kind of having a little bit of a thing about her going. So usually my wife brings my daughter to dance class Thursday night. And I said, hey, you know what? Why don't I bring her so that you can come home and hang out with our son? And spend some time with him, which is funny because when I told him that when he got home from school, he was like, no, I want you to stay home. And I was like, well, he
wanted that routine and he realized what it would give him.
Yeah. And then once she got home, he was like, okay, no, that's cool. So I brought her and it was just me and this other woman in the waiting area outside the dance class. And she had a fucking full-blown hour-long conversation on speakerphone at the loudest fucking volume. And I sent a text to my wife and I was like, there's this woman here just straight out having a regular conversation on speakerphone as if the person is sitting next to her and I am not here. And she's like, oh yeah, she described her. And I was like, yeah. She's like, oh yeah, she does that every week. Every week she does that. Every fucking week, this woman just sits there
learning about her life
in a room with other people and has a full-blown conversation with someone else, just talking about what the fuck ever she feels like.
During a dance class, is there like there's a partition?
There's a door. There's a door.
You're not in the studio.
Right, you're not in the studio. There's a door. Okay. It's closed. But, I mean, I can hear what's going on in there, so I would have to think they can hear what's going on outside. And, I mean,
that's very distracting for children.
Yeah, well, dude, this place is notorious for this shit. I once brought her to dance class, and there was this mom that had two young girls, and the one girl had to be over 10 years old. She's definitely old enough to know, with maybe a soccer ball or a volleyball or something, just throwing it as hard as she could against the wall that the dance room class was in, and bouncing it to herself, just pegging the wall, just throwing as hard as she could.
Absolutely nothing.
Mom did nothing, just sat there and watched. And I kept looking at her like, is this bitch really going to throw the ball against the wall as hard as she can for the entire fucking hour we're here? And she fucking did. She sat there throwing the ball. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Look, sorry, go on.
No, not only did the mom not do anything, but neither did any of the employees. Nobody said shit. I didn't say anything either.
Okay, first of all, I feel like at these places, the employees are too scared to say something to parents because they have to deal with shithead parents all the time.
Probably.
And they just don't have the time, or even then they probably deal with it all day, so that it's just tuned out for them.
Yeah, I'm usually the person that does say something, and I don't know why, but even I was like, I don't feel
you're
comfortable.
Powerless. It's just
I don't know what it was. It's just like I don't feel comfortable. But yeah, this woman. Fortunately, I had headphones, so I put my headphones in and I listened to loud music while this woman had her conversation with, I don't even know who it was, but
you know what I've always wanted to do with people like that? Try to have a louder conversation.
Or join in. Join in. Just go sit next to them and be like, great. Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. I saw that the other day. Yeah.
I mean, her coochie smells like blow cheese. I don't know what the fuck, bro. Oh my god.
Make them really uncomfortable. I was like
across the room.
Make them very, very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
I mean, and this was at a dance class.
Blow cheese.
Blow cheese. I don't know.
Well, no, because I was gonna say glow cheese, but that's like inside. Yeah, it smell like. Ew. Why does the inside of your panties look like brie?
I worked. One of my previous jobs, I worked in an office, and there was a woman who just smelled like that every day, and it was so overpoweringly strong. And everybody in the office, like, said, like, knew about it, talked about it, and this woman just didn't know.
Somebody might
I
have
guess
a chemical imbalance. I don't give a shit.
I know,
like, still,
but
there has to be a deodorant somewhere.
She's just walking around. I'm just like, does she not know? Does she know? Like, everybody here knows she smells like rotten. Rotten.
Have
I
you
don't
ever
know.
met somebody that smells like hot soup?
Hot soup.
Like, it's not purely an offensive smell, but it just is so wrong and alien for a human to smell like.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there are definitely times I've encountered people that have a smell that's not necessarily malodorous, but it's just odd.
And what I mean by that is, like,
hot soup.
It's not like they're a type of soup. It's just soup. Like, your brain instantly knows it's a soup. Whatever that smell is.
A soup, by definition, is kind of a menage of different flavors and scents, right?
I mean, it could be, definitely.
Hot soup. That's good.
But just there's just a human smell that some people get it. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Wait, do I have a hot soup smell?
No, you don't even
have,
like...
my God.
You don't even have, like, the stereotypical bologna smell.
Wait, what? A bologna smell? Wait, is this a white guy thing?
It's a joke. Smell? It's a white guy smell. It's a joke. It's a joke about white guys. They smell
I don't
like
know
bologna.
This white guy joke about me smelling like bologna. Bologna.
If you watch any Wayans film in the 90s or early 2000s, that joke is like a constant.
I don't remember that joke. I've seen plenty of the early 90s Wayans films. I don't remember.
Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking a juice in the hood. I think they make a bologna joke.
Oh, I haven't seen that in 15,
Marlon
20
makes
years.
that joke in Mo Money.
I've never seen Mo Money.
Mo Money is so good, but I mean, I grew up on a lot of these films. I mentioned. Sorry, go on.
I try to mask my natural ball odor with different colognes and shit. You know what I have that I
actually
really like?
have a specific deodorant.
Well, I have
not ball deodorant, just an actual deodorant
that you use on your balls.
Yep.
Is it a spray or is it like roll?
No, it's a roll-on deodorant.
But it's not specifically for that.
No, but it has no like aluminum and stuff. So
interesting.
I'm highly allergic to speed stick. Like skin peels.
I have very bad. I have to get the only brand I can use is the Dove for Men. There's a deodorant and there's an antiperspirant though. I have to get deodorant, not the antiperspirant.
And here we are talking about balls again. Yeah.
It all comes back to balls.
I literally would just deodorant inner thighs on the. It's not like I'm trying to get laid or some shit. Inner thighs, balls, and I am comfortable.
When we went to Disney, my wife bought this chafing lotion thing. It was like a stick.
Oh God, a godsend.
Oh my God, that stuff was great. Like for me having to walk around, like if I didn't have that stuff, it would have been a nightmare.
It would have been a nightmare.
That stuff was great. I never thought about using just regular. I'm going to try that. I don't have a specific, other than I use the Dove antiperspirant, like I said, because it's the only thing that doesn't irritate. I always would get red, itchy, rash armpits. That's the only thing that doesn't do it for me. But I never thought of using it like that. I get different scents from time to time.
Yeah, and mind you, I don't like rub it on like you do with your armpits.
Right.
Like I just do little dabs because you don't need a lot.
I'm going to try it.
You really don't need a lot.
I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that and report back next week.
Okay. It's going to be, I'm so afraid it's going to be another Manscaped situation.
No.
I fucking hated it. You're going to send me a picture of like a snow globe.
Well, that was just Manscaped. The second one I got ended up being fine. And I used the second one I got. And that one works pretty well. I like that one. And then, what I use for, instead of regular cologne, my barber always sprayed this shit on me every time he would finish. And it smelled so good. It smelled like lime. And I finally asked him, and he told me about this. So I've got this like gallon jug of this shit that I use. I love it. It smells so good. It's just this fresh.
And this is the kind of conversation I want to have on a speakerphone in front of people who do that. just fucking. Okay, so I used to think that was an age thing because my parents used to do that when I grew up. Like my dad was like the what are they called? The earpiece. You used to wear the earpiece.
A little Bluetooth headset.
The little Bluetooth headset. My dad, really popular. Like when they first came out, they had like the hook that goes around the ear.
Everybody had one. It was like that would be like in movies that was stereotypical, like businessman, stockbroker type guy. They always have one of those fucking things.
My dad would walk around in shorts, sweater top, fanny pack, Bluetooth with tall socks and flip flop. Well, not flip flops, sneakers, but really tall socks
and flip flops. No, you don't wear socks with flip flops.
No, because then you get the sock between your toe. But
you get sock wedgie.
But yeah, that was how my dad used to, and he would speak so fucking loudly on that. Yeah. But then my mom, when she
you're only hearing one side of the conversation.
But then when my mom, because my mom and my dad started, because this was we were turning into a cell phone family because we still had a landline, and I would take up the landline. Right. My dad adopted the cell phone first. My mom discovered speakerphone
on the standard landline.
Yep. Well, yeah, because we had the house phone. And so my mom would walk around, never with the phone to her ear.
I remember that in
front of her, and talking as fucking loud, like you could hear her through the fucking floor. Because I lived on the second floor.
I feel like that's through necessity though, because you're a mom, you're walking around, you're trying to get shit done, right?
She wasn't getting shit done. She was drinking and talking. She would do it when she cooked. Man. No, she would do it when she cooked. Don't get me wrong. Fine. But she never transitioned back to using the phone as a phone.
All right, well then I'll defend her this way. At least she's in the privacy of her own home, right?
Hold on. I'm going to tell you everything she did with this fucking thing.
Okay.
She'd pick up the phone, put it against her neck and her head, and talk on it, but never fucking turn speakerphone off.
With it against her head?
With it against her head.
Why?
Like it's not deafening her.
Yeah, why would you do that?
And then she gets a cell phone and does the same fucking shit. And then as I'm growing up, I'm seeing people out in the fucking world doing the same, not doing the head to the thing, but speakerphone out loud doing this. So now I'm at the age I am now, and I think that shit has either passed or really old people do it. No, people our age
fucking everybody does it. Oh, the people that walk around with the speakerphone like in public, like out on the city street, like in New York, what the fuck are you doing? You can't hear anything as it is. Don't you want the headset?
Yep.
So you can fucking hear?
If you are in your fucking car and you have your phone hooked to your speakers and you have your speakers on max with your fucking window down, you deserve to burn in fucking hell. I hate you.
I see that in parking lots constantly where they've got it max volume and like the bass from the person's voice sounds like a fucking heavy metal track in the background. It's like
exactly. Like, it fucking measures on the fucking Richter scale.
I don't understand the point of it because I always want a modicum of privacy when I'm on the phone. I don't care what I'm talking about. I don't want people to hear what... I could be having the most benign conversation. I don't want people to hear what I'm saying. God forbid. It's my conversation.
Yeah, God forbid you look at them because it's very loud. I don't mean stare at them. I mean, you just happen to look at them. They give you fucking dirty looks like, mind your business, bitch. Like, stop making your business my business.
That goes to anything, though. I mean, that's like the asshole tailgating you or the asshole, driving shitty, and then they look at you like you're the one that's an asshole. That's anybody that gets called out for their bad behavior. They just give you the look like it's your fault, not mine. I'm not the one doing something stupid.
Oh, like
I had this.
I'm sorry. No, I was just gonna say that I can't imagine how many times I'm in my car and I'm just trying to relax because I'm on my lunch break because I travel a lot, so I just sit in my car.
Sure, yeah.
And somebody's phone rings,
and you can hear it.
And I think it's mine because it's so fucking loud that it's reverberated into my car, and my windows are closed. Sorry, that big bang is gonna be
dude. Okay, so all right, going back to my original story, at least that was a children's dance studio, so it's like a loud place to begin with. I've gone to fucking doctors' offices that are silent with like 4 other people waiting in the fucking waiting room, not feeling well. There's some asshole on their fucking speakerphone in a waiting room in a doctor's office having a fucking full blown conversation about nothing. About nothing.
No, yes. I'm in the hospital. I told you I'm coming here. I will pick up the pickles later.
No. Not even that, because that's at least they're telling where they are.
I'm behind a bunch of Harriet. I'm behind people.
No. Some asshole. I'm just. It's some asshole sitting there in the doctor's office going, "Yeah, just sit here in the waiting room. Did you catch the Grey's
my
Anatomy
God.
last night? Oh my God, I couldn't believe what the doctor did. That he's so hot, isn't he? Like that kind of fucking conversation in a doctor's office with sick people, just want you to shut the fuck up. Maybe have a migraine. Maybe I'm sitting there with a fucking migraine, and you're there talking full
bleed out
fucking
in
blast.
peace. I just want to bleed out in peace.
Yeah. Just
I don't
let me
need
let
the
me
last
die
thoughts
peace.
in my mind to be your voice.
Yeah, exactly. And that the amount of times that has happened to me, though, like literally in a doctor's office, is off the fucking charts. It's not one. It's more than one. It's more than one. And that's a fucking problem. And I don't understand. I don't understand the lack of shame. I don't know how a person could sit there and have a fucking full-blown, pointless conversation in front of a bunch of other people that don't want to hear you or the fucking asshole you're talking to. Full fucking volume, as if you're, I don't know, in traffic with people beeping all around you. You gotta speak as loud as you fucking can. The total lack of shame to sit there and have that conversation and not give a fuck. I don't know how someone gets to that point in their life. There are a lot of things I don't care about. We talked about appearance and smell and shit.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that I'll go out wearing whatever. I don't give a fuck. You want to look at me wearing my sweatbands and sweat and hoodie out in public and think like, oh, what are you that's how you dress? I don't fucking care. I don't care. But I have enough shame and enough common sense and enough decency to not go and have a fucking full-blown conversation on speakerphone about what happened on Bay Area last night.
Let's not forget, because you've mentioned this, and this is a very specific thing with speakerphone. The person who's on the other end did not consent for everyone else to know what this fucking conversation is.
I didn't even think of that side of the argument. You got somebody on speakerphone that probably doesn't fucking know they're on speakerphone.
They're on speakerphone.
Oh my, I didn't even think of that. What if you're talking to somebody?
I don't want people to know what I'm telling you. What I am telling you is between us.
Yeah, how about, what if you're on speakerphone with Paula Deen and she's just casually dropping the N-word?
Exactly, right?
She doesn't know.
I don't want people to know that. I don't want people to know that I'm okay with you saying that to me.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think of that side of it. What kind of fucking dickhead does that to somebody too? Just puts them on speaker for the world to hear. You know what? Okay. I'm putting my foot down. I'm making a stand right now. Next time this fucking happens to me, and it's gonna happen. Maybe I'll go next week or this week to dance class just for this. I'm gonna go sit by the person and just join in the conversation. Be like, oh, I thought this was a public forum. I didn't realize this was a conversation between just the two of you. I mean, you seem to be bringing me into this with what's your fucking speakerphone being on so loud.
You know what's so scary for me? I used to do late night walks years and years ago, and people talking on speakerphone out loud while they're on their like late night walks or just kind of hanging out because they think no one else is around, which is fine. You think no one else is around. I still don't know why you want to be loud late at night, but whatever.
Yeah.
And you're having a conversation that sounds like a goddamn argument. Oh, this happens in Walmart at night too, by the way.
Oh, of course it happens in Walmart.
I know. Walmart. All bad things happen in Walmart. No matter what time it is. And there's always just those 4 aisles that are still open and everyone else is closed at all times in Walmart.
Oh, I've encountered that. People walking around in Walmart or other stores with their speakerphone on plenty of times too.
But it's always some man or woman that has the deepest, most raspy smoker's voice. Being just like most passive aggressive rude on speakerphone in a public area, loud as shit, having a full-blown argument and expecting no one else to be upset with them.
Yes. Oh, that's the fall. It's another good group. Good group of assholes.
And I mean, like, and I'm talking about, like, they have that weird slur that, like, they're either drunk or they're missing half of their teeth. And yes, both could be the case.
Could be either. Yeah, could be either.
But no matter how sober they are, they're still going to slur because they have no goddamn teeth.
It's one of those situations where I cannot find justification for it.
Yeah, no, there's
nothing in my mind. I can't come up with a reason. Yeah, I can't.
It's as shit.
I cannot come up with a good reason for a person to be doing it. And there are lots of people that do stupid shit that annoy me. And I always, not always, sometimes I'm just
we all do stupid shit that annoy other people.
But like when I think back on it, I try to. when I think
Sorry,
back on it, I
sorry.
try to come up with like, okay, well, maybe there's a good reason they're doing that stupid, irritating thing. There's none. There's none for talking on a speakerphone in public. There just isn't a good reason. I guess. I mean, maybe if your handset's broken, where your handset speaker doesn't work
You
at
have
all,
no choice.
then you literally have no choice. But even then, I feel like I would go find a bathroom or go
But even then,
outside.
okay,
Or
if you're on speakerphone and the handset's broken, right? Chances are you're still going to try to keep it low, or go outside, like you said, go to the bathroom,
something,
go outside,
right?
go somewhere that other people aren't just like on top of you. But even then, and mind you, when I worked in phones, there is a good reason sometimes I can find. When I worked on phones, was just, and it was mainly just old people. They didn't know that you could up the volume on the phone.
On the handset?
You could literally press the fucking volume button, and it raises the volume not on the media but on the call.
So they switched to speakerphone to make it louder because they didn't
To
know
make
you
it
could
louder
increase the
because
volume.
they can't hear.
I mean, I guess if you're
There's
ignorant
also
to that,
there's
maybe.
also an accessibility for deaf people.
That's
And I
completely different.
And I know that doesn't help with calls necessarily, but it asks you to, I think at least one of the older ones asks you to hook up an audio system. Like
That's what I was going to
headphones.
say. Wouldn't you typically, if you were deaf or not deaf but very hard of hearing, wouldn't you use an earpiece,
Yes.
to make sure you had it as loud
My
as
dad.
possible? Yeah,
I don't know if he's hard of hearing, but I can't tell either way.
that would make more sense. You know what? Have you ever encountered a person that is talking on speakerphone just to flex? Like they're on speakerphone talking about something that
those
they think
people,
is cool.
Those people don't exist to me. They,
You're on the train.
They instantly become transparent, and then fade away in my delusions.
I was on a train once going down to the city, and there was a group of kids. I say kids, but they might have been like 20,
late,
and I was like
early,
in my 30s.
early 20s, late teens.
Yeah, something like that.
Like the most dickish age for every human being.
Absolutely. And I don't remember what he was flexing about, but he got on a speakerphone call on full volume, was like flex, telling, oh, you got them tickets for the Yankee game? All right, yeah, yo, we're sitting right behind home, something like that, right behind the plate, and then proceeded to then play music at full blast on their fucking speaker of their phone.
That shit I've seen a lot, like playing really loud fucking music on your shitty speakerphone on your iPhone or whatever.
And again, I don't know why. You're in a public place on a train or something, and you're playing your fucking shitty music full blast. I feel like for kids that age, it is I hate that I keep saying flex because I feel like I'm trying to sound cool.
But that is what they're doing.
But they're
it's the nomenclature of
listen to my awesome. They just want you to hear the music, and they think it's so cool that they're like, everybody's gonna think I'm cool because I'm listening to this.
And a part of it's them daring people to kind of push back.
Yeah, to push back.
I feel like a lot of them are daring somebody because they want that drama. They want something to happen. Yeah, because they want to be able to prove themselves.
I was talking about before that I typically don't have a problem with, but like in that instance too, I don't think I said anything to them. But then like I'll be in a movie theater and somebody will be being an asshole, kicking the seat or being loud, and I'll just turn around and be like, "You better fucking shut up or stop kicking my fucking seat, or we're gonna have a problem."
I feel like because that's a place where you probably will have people that back you up.
That's true. Yeah, but when you're on a train too?
But not necessarily, because that's just a place of transport. That's not like...
Well, in the case of a movie theater...
When you go to a movie theater, silence is literally a rule they push.
Yeah, everybody's watching the movie.
Exactly.
And if I'm the one that calls you out, everybody's now going to be like, oh, finally somebody called you out. We're all going to get behind this guy.
So you have more of a chance of people backing you up.
Yeah, you're right.
Like on a train, people just want to get to where they want to fucking go.
I don't want to think that the only reason I do that is if I think I've got backup, though.
It's probably subconscious. It's a survival thing.
Yeah, I guess you're right. No, I guess you're right.
It's literally...
It makes you feel like an asshole, though.
If you break it down to you being like some kind of robot, part of your programming is to survival, have self-preservation.
Yeah.
And so subconsciously you're going to react based on what you value mechanically.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think... I mean, I was going to start saying this before, but yesterday I was driving home and this fucking big ass truck starts tailgating me. I was going the speed limit. Starts tailgating me. It's one of those trucks where like and it's just a pickup truck, but it's one of those trucks like almost like it's a fucking semi where every couple seconds the black smoke just comes pouring out of the back of the tailpipe.
The
one of those trucks.
Muffler.
Yeah, and he's like, fucking tailgate me. So of course I just
Not
like
muffler,
slowed down. Yeah, no, the
I
muffler,
forgot what it's.
tailpipe
No,
muffler.
I was gonna
whatever.
say exhaust. Like,
I think it's all part of the same thing, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're right.
And so of course I slowed down a little bit because I'm like, oh, this fucking asshole keeps, and he kept like speeding up and getting up right behind me, and then slowing down a little, move back, and then getting right behind me. So I slowed down.
I have a shit
and then,
car. I've been if the kids aren't in the car, I dare them to hit me.
Oh, if the kids aren't in the car, all bets are off. I don't give a fuck. If the kids are in the car, I won't fuck around at all, obviously. But eventually he got to a pass, and he passed me. And of course, as he passed me, I'm like giving him the finger. And then I'm just like, what am I doing? Like, is it worth it? Should I really be doing that? It's this guy with a big truck. He obviously has a tiny dick. He probably has some guns to make up for that tiny dick too, right?
I wish I could have that kind of peace. I just scream in my car, and I will flip you off if you act like an asshole in the car. Not like you'll notice me, because nobody ever does, and I don't roll down my window to do so.
I'm sure. First off, his truck was so high, he probably couldn't even see down to my fucking level.
Yeah, like
fucking
you just dehumanize everyone else around you when you're in your big crotch rocket. But, I'm trying to get on the highway, and I think actually this happened this week. I was trying to get on the highway. There was no cars in the left lane. And this truck just refused to go in the left lane so I could get in and I don't get fucking trapped.
A pickup?
Going in a fucking circle. It was an 18-wheeler.
18-wheeler? Okay.
And I'm just like, just fucking... And I'm heading towards the shoulder. I'm like, I'm fucked. I am so fucked. And I slowed down, and I guess the car behind them noticed and let me in.
Oh, don't you love that when you get the hero that helps you out? That's like, oh, this guy's getting fucked over by this asshole. I'm going to be the nice guy and help him out. I love when someone does that.
Tell me how, when I got in, I went to go in the left lane so I could pass the truck, because I don't want to be behind this asshole. Right. I'm just going to be seething the whole time.
Of course, yeah.
And they move into the left lane.
Oh, intentionally to block you?
I don't know if they did it intentionally or not. I don't even think they were fucking alive at that point.
Yeah, they may have just been completely not aware. Oh,
I'm just like,
fucking dicks.
What the fuck is wrong with you? I'm sorry. I remember, because I saw him, and I did flip him off when I got around him finally. The motherfucker was on his phone.
Oh, there you go. Well, that explains it. I really can't stand, this could be a whole nother topic for another day. I really can't stand how people drive in such a way that they are like very much jeopardizing human life and risking injury, because driving in general is fucking nuts. Like the fact that we all get in a fucking car and go 70 80 fucking miles an hour down a highway with a bunch of other people doing the same fucking thing that are all different levels of skill and paying attention, and like literally are doing a fucking crazy thing by getting in a car and driving with other people. And it's just completely normalized in our life where we don't even think about how crazy it is that we do it. Yeah. And I guess that's, that must be why people are willing to take these huge risks to be an asshole when they're driving and do stuff like that, box you out and cut you off and
for no reason.
For no reason. But it's just like, it's crazy to me. Like people do stuff like that is so dangerous without even flinching.
Yeah. The last time I told you we were stuck in traffic, this is a habit I have, and I can't fucking stand when other people don't do this. When you see the sign, now mind you, they usually, I hate when construction on highways do this, when they put the sign that tells you which way they're merging.
To merge, yeah.
But it's way too close to where they're doing it, so it's like
they don't give you enough time.
So traffic's all the way in the back.
Sure.
Yeah. It was like, road work in 2 miles. I feel like even a mile in, put that sign up so I know which lane I need to be in.
Yeah. Oh, agreed.
But instead, these people will try to go into the lane that's closed and try to get all the way up to the end so they can get up in front of the line. You're not going to get there any fucking faster. In actuality, you're just slowing everyone the fuck down.
Well, that's literally what creates the issue. That's the problem. That's why that issue is created. On the way to the wedding, we had that exact issue. There was it must have been an accident. There was a merge, right lane coming into the left lane, and there was plenty of notice. There was like 2 miles out, was start merging left. The traffic was already a little slow, but there was plenty of room. I immediately got left, and then it's like you said, I'm sitting in the traffic in the left lane, and there's cars flying past me to get all the way up to the front of the right lane. And if everybody just kept their pace and merged when they were supposed to, it would just slow. But everybody speeds up to try to get ahead of the traffic, and then causes the roadblock, the bottleneck, and that's why there's an issue. And everybody does it. Everybody, not everybody. The smart people.
And this last time that it did happen, this person almost caused a fucking accident because they tried to squeeze in, and I guess the car that was there was just like, "Fuck you."
Oh, I do that. Sorry, I do that.
And so they sped up, and I was just like, it was like a car ahead of me.
Yeah,
and I usually have 2 spaces in front of me because I don't trust people like
you give
merging smoothly. I think they're just gonna cut right over. Oh, and so I leave space. I leave like 2 car space in front of me.
See, and I don't do that. I'm like the asshole. If I don't have the kids in the car, I just stay right up on the person in front of me. And the people in the right lane that didn't merge, I just wait.
I fight that urge.
If they want to try to cut me off, they want to try to, and sometimes they do. Go ahead, hit my car. See if I fucking care. You can hit my car, and then your insurance will pay for it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I fight that urge. I'm just like, look, I have to live by what I'm trying my best to live by what I feel like I want everyone else to do.
No, see, in my head, I go, you're an asshole. You deserve to be punished. You deserve to have to wait there. Sorry.
And who's to say that they're not a bigger asshole and don't pay their premiums? I don't fucking know.
I don't. You're right.
Hit my car and then disappear. I had one guy hit. I didn't see him. It was my fault that I bumped him, but I barely bumped him, and he acted like all his car's problems were my fault.
Oh, I've had that happen before.
And my insurance called him out on it and didn't pay a fucking dime.
Yeah, I've had that happen before too. That was
bullshit.
Have you ever gotten hit in a drive-through? I've gotten hit in a drive-through twice. I've had drive-through accidents.
Luckily.
I hadn't slept the night before. I was so fucking tired. I was in a Dunkin' Donuts drive-through, and I literally just fell asleep sitting there. And I eased forward and just kind of like love kissed the car in front of me. And she got out and she was screaming at me. And she was like, "You fucking hit my car." And I was like, "I did." I was like, "I'm so sorry. I fell asleep."
Sorry. Yeah, that's all you can do.
I said, what was I going to do? I was like, "Is there any damage?" No, there's no damage. She was like, "No, it's fine, but fucking asshole, fucking dick." And I was like, "I'm sorry." It's like, I fell asleep. I wasn't trying to be an asshole. I didn't do it on purpose. And that was it. And then the other time I was in drive-through at a Starbucks in a rental car, and I was in a big fucking Jeep. They gave me a giant Jeep Cherokee or something.
So you're not even used to that type of...
Yeah. No, but that wasn't my fault. I was in one of those giant fucking Jeeps, and the car behind me just plowed into me into the back of the Jeep, and she got out and she was like, "Look what you did to my car." And I was like, "What?" And she's like, you smashed my windshield, because her windshield smashed. She hit me so hard. She's like, "You smashed my windshield." And I was like, "You ran into the back of me." She's like, No, you hit me. And I was like, "How could I hit you? We're in a drive-through. We're just all pulling forward."
I can't back up in a drive-through.
Yeah, I was like, "I can't back up." I pulled forward, and then you slammed into me. And
people like that feel like if they say it enough, they'll convince themselves.
She was definitely trying to convince herself.
Everybody. She
was definitely trying, and I was like, "Get out of the drive-thru and we'll pull over." She's like, "No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that." I was like, "You better do that." And I was like, "I'm calling the state troopers right now." And she's like, "I'm not doing that. And I'm not doing that." And I was like, "They have fucking cameras everywhere here, dear."
Yeah.
I was like, "If you don't pull over, the state trooper will come. I'll have them check the cameras, and you're gonna be in a lot of trouble." So she did finally pull over, and she kept trying to tell me not to call the state trooper. And I was like, "No, you hit me. I need somebody to come and do an accident report to show that you fucking backed into me or ran to the back of me." She's like, "But it's my windshield that's broken." I was like, "Yeah, because you hit the back of a giant."
You ran.
I was like, "Because you're in a minivan. You ran into the back of like a 6-ton Jeep. You fucking idiot." And it was great because the Jeep had like very minor damage on the bumper.
Oh, the thing is, like the guy that I bumped into, because I was backing up. I was really stressed. It was like my second week at this. It was my first. Sorry. It was my first week by myself at my current job.
Okay.
So it was a couple years ago.
Yep.
And they sent me 2 hours away. I was covering 4 stores in one day because they just threw me into the fucking fire because they barely trained me. And so I was very stressed. Yep, I was very
fucking
stressed.
Assholes. Yeah.
I was very tired. It's my first time at the store. I don't know what I'm doing. Well, I know what I'm doing, but I don't know
I know what you mean.
The nuances of the store, and my anxiety's through the fucking roof. And I back up, and the guy claims that he honked his horn. I don't think he did, but I bumped his car.
Okay.
And I know I bumped it. I hit the brakes at the same time as bumping it. And he pulls over, and I'm like, fuck, this is the last thing I need. This is the last thing I need. And
I'm sure.
Just fuck. And I get out of the car, and I look at my car, and he's cussing me out like anybody normally would do.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. And I don't react. I don't like, I look him in the face and I'm like, sorry, I didn't mean to do it. And I'm looking at my car. I can't tell any of the damage on his car. I can't see it.
Right.
I know I hit the wheel well. I think his back right wheel well, but I can't see the damage I did.
And he's like, my right tail light is out now.
Well, what I can see is my bumper, which was plastic. It was a Ford Focus.
Yeah.
Was dented inward, like
Sure.
cracked inward.
Yep. Makes sense.
All we did was share paint, swapped paint. So it's just like, fuck. And he's like talking down to me and being pissy. And I'm just like, dude, I'm sorry. I'm just really tired. I'm really stressed out. I didn't see you until it was too late. And I realized gradually, like, he was getting embarrassed that he was being a dick to me during
He fucking
during
should.
the interaction.
He should.
And like the advice started becoming softer, and he stopped giving advice to me, because I'm just like, dude, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about. I'm just fucking tired, and I didn't see you behind me in the dark. And he's then talking about like all these things with his car and his woes. I'm like, oh, I see what's happening now. And so I call my wife. We're talking, and you can see where he starts thinking about like adding all the shit from his car. He's like soon as he's like, I'm gonna drive the car around the block and see how it drives, see if it's right. It's like, oh, the alignment's off, and this.
Oh,
like,
come on!
Mentioning all these things, I'm like, dude, I did not hit you. That I
did you call troopers or police or something?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, good.
We did call the police. I called. Actually, we use speakerphone to call the police.
Yeah, we're way off topic. You got to, because that's the only recourse. You have to have somebody to actually say, like, here's what looks like it happened.
Yeah.
I've been really fortunate in my accident history. I mean, I once accidentally rolled into somebody at a stop sign, again, barely tapped them, same thing. And they were nice. They got in the car and were like, I was really upset. And they're like, oh, don't worry about it. There's no damages. It's fine. Like, we're good. You can go. And we
Funny
both
enough,
left.
the same happened to me.
Yeah. And that was great. And then I've been a few that weren't my fault. I had somebody T-bone me and I broke every rib on the left side of my body. Totaled my car. That was bad. He just blew a stop sign and T-boned me. I had a big box truck take the line too close and come into my lane, and like the corner of the truck just went through the side of my car, like all the way, like cut a line through the side of the car. And then the only other time that I was really at fault was when I first got my license, and I was getting pizza, and I was in a parking lot, and I think I might have went into reverse instead of forward, because I was brand new. I just started driving, and I backed into a car, and I was like, fuck, God damn it. Oh my God, this sucks. And I took a moment to compose myself, and I was like, I don't know. They're not here. I guess I'll leave a note. And I didn't have any paper. So I went into the pizza place to ask them for paper and a pencil. And as I was going in, like 2 seconds later, this woman comes in. She's like, I fucking saw you. And I was like, excuse me? And she's like, I fucking saw you hit that car, and you just walked away. You're just going to walk away? You're not going to tell anybody? I saw you do it. And I just went, my man, to the guy behind the counter. I was like, what did I just ask you for? And he's like, a piece of paper and a pencil. And I was like, yeah, to write a fucking note, lady. I didn't say it like this. I was a kid. I wasn't this confident.
That's
and she was like,
cathartic.
Oh, well, good job. And she walked out. I think the thing with accidents is we all have to remember that nobody wants to get into an accident. No one's doing it on purpose. So even when somebody's being an asshole, you got to kind of just take a moment and be like, whew,
yes.
Okay, this is just something that happens in life. Let's just get through it and deal with it.
Well, the thing is,
yes. You are right. Yes, it is.
for an accident, not knowing if it's negligent or not.
You're absolutely right. That's
you don't approach those situations like that. You just don't. Imagine.
People bring everything into it. They're having a bad day. They're having a bad week. They're having a bad month. They're having a bad year.
They're just venting that out.
Sorry, that's Friends theme song. They're just got an outlet, and they're like, here we go. Here's an outlet for me to purge all this shit onto another human being. But yeah, we just got to kind of look at it, be like, you know what? Nobody meant for this to happen. And this is why we have insurance, and we're just going to deal with it. Try to get through it.
It's
very stressful.
Awfully fussy. And you know what? I'm going to mention, you are a better person than I. One of my earlier times driving, and I feel ashamed about this, but
it's okay.
Hopefully it all worked out. One of my earlier times driving, I was driving around, and I was like half in the mud, and I was trying to like get out, and I back out, and I guess I backed out a little too.
Yeah. Oh.
I just took off.
Well, 100% honesty.
I felt so bad
when I was sitting in that parking lot.
Bad about it now.
When I was sitting in that parking lot, I had the angel and the devil on my shoulders.
I'm glad that you passed. I failed horribly.
Well, they were sitting there trying to debate whether or not what I should do. Do I just leave it, or do I leave a note? And know what? No. I can't even say exactly what went into that. It could have been that I looked around and we're like, oh, a bunch of people saw me. I better just leave a note. I don't know. I don't really remember, but it doesn't necessarily mean it was for wholesome and all good reasons. I could have just.
What was really messed up about that is I didn't just pull off. That just for comedic value, I kind of mentioned that I just drove off, but I actually got out of the car, looked around, looked at my car, looked at their car. It was just like,
peace.
Maybe that's something that they wouldn't have noticed.
This reminds me of another story. When I was the last story about cars, because this isn't even close to our topic, really. I remember when I was probably 19 or 20. I was with a friend that was a like really goody two shoes, and this isn't my wife. It's not my wife. I'll make that clear. Very goody two shoes, like really like smart, really, one of those people that is just like a goody two shoes, like definitely not somebody you expect. Probably never drank before she was 21, like that guy. Didn't do anything bad. I was with her in a mall parking lot, and she was pulling into a spot and just crunched into the side of a car, just fucking crunched the whole side in. And I was like, holy shit. And she just fucking backed up and just drove away. And I was just sitting there like,
I'm so fucked.
What the fuck just happened? Like, did she really just... And I mean, we're not talking a little dent. I mean, she crunched the whole side of the car, like fucking in. Like the door was not going to open after what she did.
Oh my God.
And she just fucking drove away. And in my head, I was just like, I don't know this person.
Like, who was this?
Yeah, it's like, who the fuck is this the person what the fuck? I was like completely confused that the person I was with did that. It was crazy. Anyway.
What did you use kerfuffled for?
It was, I was bemused.
I was bemused.
It was fucking nuts. Anyway, that's enough. So let's just wrap it up with speakerphones again and just bring it back to.
Just, I feel like the invention of the speakerphone, there was such good intent behind it.
There was good intent.
But they didn't think of how obnoxious we are as people.
What we need is a GPS lock that only allows you to enable it when you're in your home or something like that. You can't use speakerphone unless you're in your home. Yeah, it's just like, nope, you're not home. You're not allowed to use speakerphone. Sorry. Guys, if you get a call, if you can avoid using speakerphone, just don't use speakerphone in public. Use the handset, get your Bluetooth earbud, get your AirPod, pop that shit in, and when you're on your headset, speak quietly. You don't have to yell. The person that's on the other end.
The phone can hear you.
They can hear you. Clean it up. Clean it up, or get a new headset, or get a new phone, or just call them back later.
Actually, let's just pull out. You're not really friends. Nobody gives a shit about you.
You're not important.
Just don't talk
enough.
to them.
You're not that important.
Yeah, nobody cares about you.
It doesn't have to be that way. Nobody needs to hear what you have to say right this second. Call them when you get home. On your handset, put it or use your speakerphone if you're by yourself. If you're in your own home, put it on. Blast it as loud as you want. Feel like an asshole. Maybe you can pretend there are people around you if you want to be a dick and you want to feel the power of annoying others. Yeah. Put Michael Jackson. Put Michael Jordan on a train set. Like, those are two very different people.
Two very different situations.
In many ways, they're very different people. I feel bad for Michael B. Jordan. That poor bastard. Poor bastard.
Speakerphone. Yes, I know. Have you seen Walking Dead last night?
It's so good. It's such a good show. No, you're being ignorant. He's not gonna die. He's not gonna die. He gonna make it to the end of the show.
That's my favorite character.
My favorite. He can't die.
Oh, Simone!
I gotta go touch some boys. I'll talk to you later. Have you ever seen the? Okay, last thing. Have you ever seen the meme that's it's like the host, the little Debbie's snacks, and it's got Michael Jackson's picture instead of little Debbie, and it says little hee-hees.
I love the hee-hee meme. Like
too.
the hee-hee man.
Yeah.
Hee-hee man is my favorite one.
It's good stuff. Oh man, I miss Michael Jackson. I wish he was still around, because I think he'd still be providing us with meme entertainment.
So when
I mean, the little boys wouldn't be safe. But
when I'm going to end it on this for me anyway. So I used to do this thing in high school. We had an open mic night thing, and
open mic.
I used to have this Michael Jackson joke. It wasn't like a molesting kids type of joke, but the joke essentially was that you literally can make a Michael Jackson song out of like 4 sounds.
Wait, was this your own bit?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
You can make a Michael Jackson, and
I
I think, and it was pretty much all you have to do is say "girl," do the. That's all. Shimon, and I can't remember the other one. Well, and he, yes, and he. So it's pretty much you just go, girl, don't Shimon, girl. That's all. That's all you need, and put it to any beat, and you have a Michael Jackson song.
Oh, I know what to say. You should record a new Michael Jackson track. We'll put it out there. See if we can convince people that it's actually Michael Jackson. I mean, they got AI doing it now. They've got AI doing. There's the Eminem AI.
There's soundboards.
Yeah.
Michael has so many odd sounds though, because you got the like he has
like beatbox without beatbox.
That's really
he just
that whole Oprah Winfrey interview. He beatboxed and sang the song.
And
mind you, those beatbox noises were in the song. Like,
all other things aside, I miss Michael Jackson.
I do too.
I miss the variety of fun he brought to culture, aside again from raping little boys. That part wasn't good.
Aside from that
part wasn't good. But if we could take that part out, the rest of it would be entertaining. Come on, Thriller, man, Thriller. Everybody loves Thriller.
I kind of wish his kids were even half as entertaining as he was, but
I mean, other than Paris, right?
Who gives a fuck about Paris? We only remember her because.
But that's what I'm saying. Other than her, like, I don't think any of them are in the public at all.
Yeah, there's Blanket and Prince Michael.
Yeah,
and Paris. I think
Paris is the only one that has any
rich white
image.
Kids. That's it. That's the
rich white kids.
That's it. The rich white kids.
With two white parents.
Neither one of them, Michael.
Anyone can be white if you have enough skin bleach.
But on an odd note, his nephew Jafar, which I think is Jerome's
Wait, what?
Jafar Jackson.
Somebody named their kid Jafar? When? Was it after Aladdin came out?
I think it was Jerome Jackson.
How are you going to name your kid Jafar after Aladdin?
This is Michael Jackson's nephew.
Come on, man. Be nice to your kids.
Give
the name to Jafar after Aladdin came out.
Jafar Jackson. It's amazing
Jackson.
how much he sounds like Michael Jackson. It is fucking phenomenal.
Well, that's wonderful, but his name is fucking Jafar, so nobody's going to do anything but equate him to the villain.
He is named after the best Disney villain.
Hey, princess, you will be mine. Prince Abu. Poor bastard. I gotta go get my kids.
All right. Get the fuck out of here. Oh my
God. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Shimona.
I'm just just gonna record myself doing Michael Jackson noises over the theme song.
There you go. Peace, everybody.